And I'm looking here, right here.
Right here. Just talk about what you're doing.
Okay, today we're going to work forearms, and you'll see in a minute there's a lot of little subtle things that you do, or you should do, when you're working forearms in order to get the most out of it. First place, you got several different, you got forearm flexors, that's the power part of it. And then you also got the forearm extensors right here in the back. And you need to build both of those in order to really build a nice forearm. I always loved forearm work. I guess one of the reasons I do is that you just, well, you can see it. You can, even with a short sleeve shirt, you can still see the forearms flex when you're driving down the street. You can see your forearm flexors flexing. It just gives you a nice feeling. It gives me a nice feeling anyway, to just see that muscle flexing as you're turning it, type of thing. I always love the idea of building muscles on the body, and forearms for some reason are just a, it's a nice feeling of power when you build your forearms. And when you learn some of the proper techniques, as well as some of the equipment that's really essential in order to make this work. You'll notice this little bench right here. Doesn't look like much, but it's been tailored and refined and changed to where now this thing is just exactly right on, really built in forearms. One of the problems with most of us, whenever we work forearms, we generally get up, sit on the end of a bench, we straddle over the bench, we put our arms up here on the bench, and you can't really use hardly any weight because the elbows slide off. And so you turn around the other way, so you're across the bench, and then the dumbbell or the barbell is hitting one side of the bench, and so it's lousy. So you're going to try to make this thing really work. And like I said before, I've worked a lot on this and to perfect this little bench. Here's what you have to have. First, it has to be really heavily padded, because you're going to be using some heavy weights. After a while, you'll be able to use a couple hundred pounds or more for wrist curls. And so this has to be padded. That little bench has probably got maybe that much, a really high density foam in it, so that it doesn't bottom out the bones on the back of your forearm, and that hurts. So you want to have enough cushion. Secondly, the bench is really pretty low. When you're doing this exercise, you want to get down low enough. You want to get down low enough so that your hips are lower than your knees, because that's where your power is. So you're way down here like this, and you reach over, you have your barbell. Let's move this out of the way. You see what I'm saying? This is just a lightweight barbell we're going to use for both, we'll call it finger wrist rolls. I'm just going to show you the heavy movement too. You start off with, you're about like this, and you're trying to get your weight into position, because that's the key. Get up into position. So you start off with, you reach down here, you grab it like this, and your fingers are always underneath the bar, and the thumbs are also, because the thumbs have power, so you don't want to put them over the bar like this, or you're losing all that power. Matter of fact, it's actually working against you. So you reach down, you put your thumb in what they call a false grip, like this, and you're lifting it up. First curl your wrist, and then you lift up into position. Then you get down into position, down here. Okay, now my hips are lower than my forearms, so I got a lot of power. I can bring this down here, all the way down here, and bring it back up. And that's the movement right here. Now this is just a lighter weight, so this is the weight you'll use for doing the finger wrist rolls. We roll down the end of the fingers, and back up to the top, and all the way down the end of the fingers. Then it builds grip, as well as building strong forearms.
It's good, very good.
That's your motion. Right there, just like that. Then, whenever you're doing the heavy weights, like with a couple of 45s on each side, exactly the same motion, except not only that, but especially while you're reaching down there, and the first thing you got to do is to get the bar into position, because that's the real hard thing, is to get a heavy weight into position. So you first start off with, get down here and you curl your wrist before you ever get back up on the bench. And then you lift it up into position. And then you're back here. So I got my wrist already curled. I can go down as far as I can get it without losing control of the weight. And I do at least 10 repetitions. That's the movement you're doing. Building the forearm flexors. On the other hand, you're not necessarily on the other hand, but in addition, you want to build the top part of this forearm here. This gives you all of that motion like this. Generally speaking, whenever you're working forearms, the extensors, the weak link is your thumbs. You get a heavy enough weight and your thumbs just won't hold it. So a really good exercise is, where you can hold it, is you're going to do reverse curls. That's the purpose of the drill bar. You get a weight on it like this, and then all you're going to do is you're just going to curl it up like this. And the brachioradialis, right here, that's the only muscle that can bring that thing up. So as you bring it up like this, you're working just that part, and my thumbs and my fingers are helping me. So I can use a lot more weight than I ever could doing this movement right here. So I'm working forearm extensors here and forearm flexors here. By the way, you never use this part, you shouldn't. We're doing this part because you want to have that bar straight, so you really roll it all the way up. So that's the movement you're doing with the bar. So you're doing it forearm flexors and a bicep movement, which by the way, one of the reasons when you can't do bicep curls, where you stop making, that wasn't the right word, where you can't move anymore, is because you can't get your wrist curled. It isn't that you don't have enough power in the bicep. You got plenty of power there, but it's right down here you can't get your wrist curled. Therefore, your work, look at the wrong, should be looking there, shouldn't I?
You're fine.
Therefore, when you're doing this, like this, you want to work forearms hard enough, get them strong enough where they can curl that wrist. Because you get the wrist curled, the power that you have is equal to the square of the distance from here to here times the weight. That's a lot of weight. So if I can get my wrist curled just an inch, I can take 30 or 40 pounds off the bar. So that means I've got a lot more weight I can deliver to the bicep. My bicep will grow much more because my forearm's strong enough to get my wrist curled. Okay, now, we talk about extensors, we talk about flexors. How about the grip? You know, these are the only things that address the bar or the dumbbell. You've got to get these things powerful enough where they can really hook onto the bar and dumbbell, where you can get a hold of it and move it. And in order to do that, this is good. Holding the fingers, that's pretty good. But it's the Iron Mind. These guys came up with a wonderful exercise, a piece of equipment. I just copied it. I got a welder and an electric hacksaw, and I've made up a lot of these little things. I saw this, that's a great idea, man, I got to fix that. So I came down home and here I made this little thing like this. It's just really pretty simple. Now you put your hands like this, grab it like this, and you're just doing with your fingers. So this builds that strong grip. You don't want to know, the main reason you want a strong grip, when your wife says, or your girlfriend says, can you take the lid off of this jar? You don't want to go, no, can you do that? So maybe I work this side, put the lid of the peach jar. I'm just kidding, but that has a lot to do with it. I don't want to get that thing going. And this is fantastic for it, absolutely fantastic. It's real easy, it doesn't give you any pinch problems. And you can add the weight up. And I saw a guy in, let's see, I think it was Ironman magazine, he had 4 of those 45-pound plates on it. He gave me a goal to shoot for. I can't do that yet, but I'm coming close to it. So, okay, we did grip, we did external forearm extensors, forearm flexors, what else? And we did a grip. That's about it. That's a pretty good forearm workout. So you just follow those things, and you want to vary them around and make sure that you take the time to. You won't find a bench like that. You can't buy one like that. You got to build it. Make sure that you've got it to where when you kneel down behind it, you squat around, your knees around it, you grab it on the bench like this, and your hips are lower than your knees because that's where all your power is.
Can't they buy it from you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you want to, though, you do. Don't do this. Buy it from us. We sell them. I'm just kidding. And we sell each one of these pieces. So if you're looking at these things and say, I need that thing. That's where I got mine. I said, I'm going to build it. And so now it's yours for you. So if
They can't get it anywhere else but from you, right?
I've never seen one like that. You can buy that from Iron Man or from Iron Mind, but I've never seen another forearm bench like that.
So where do they go get one of those?
You go to LarryScott.com and you just go right in there and look under products and then benches, and you'll find that particular bench right there under that section on our website. So if you want to build big forearms, I went over to Bill Pearl's health club one day. When I first met him, I was really in awe of him. When he came out, I couldn't even talk. I was stuttering in front of him because he was my hero. And he had a forearm bench in his gym that looked like it had a couple of 50 caliber howitzers. Just 2 big dents in the top of the bench. They were using 300-pound barbell to do wrist curls. And I wanted to hide my arms. I felt like a little wimpy kid in front of me. But I got that idea from him about how to build that bench because I saw how much different his was when the one he had it was just a commercial version. And so I think you're probably going to have to, go ahead. Those are only, how much are they?
How much are they?
How much are those?
Forearm bench.
Forearm bench. I don't know, just call in, call L. Scott, or call 801-444-3881 and ask how much are your little forearm benches. Be sure and tell you. Okay, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. I won't remember until we get off the air. Let me just tell you again in closing. Once you get into forearm, a lot of people don't like forearm work because it hurts so much. It's red muscle fiber like this too. So it both hurts a lot. But once you get accustomed to where you find out where the pain is, and the pain originates up here, and once you identify that, you can block the pain up here, and you go through a lot of pain on your forearms. And you'll find that it's really a lot of fun. It's a great exercise. So, so long. Good luck.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.